Welcome to Chapter 8. This is Section 8.1, Find Angle Measures in Polygons. Our objectives today are to calculate the interior angle sum of a polygon, to use the interior angle formula to calculate the number of sides or an individual angle, to use the properties of exterior angles to find missing sides or angles. So, start off, we have some angle measure sums. The interior angles of a triangle sum to 180 degrees. You should know that. The interior angles of a quadrilateral, which is a square or rectangle, those are going to sum to 360 degrees. The interior angles of a pentagon, penta stands for 5, I'm going to tell you is actually 540 degrees. Now, how did I get that? Well, look at the pattern. Triangle has 3, quadrilateral has 4, pentagon has 5. Each time I'm adding 180 degrees. This is true then for any side nonagon that we have. Nonagon means any sides. The formula would be 180 n minus 2, with n being the number of sides. N sides. Okay, so this is the formula you're going to always want to use when you're finding the interior angle of a shape. So, for example, find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex octagon. Octagon means the number of sides is 8. You need to be aware of all of those octa, penta, all of those kind of shapes. So, let's plug into our formula. 180. Instead of n, we know there's 8 sides, minus 2 means it's 180 times 6. So the measure of the interior angles, the sum, would be 1,080 degrees. Not too bad, right? Next one. Here, the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is 2,160 degrees, classified by number of sides. So now we're going the opposite direction. We're still going to use our formula. 180 times n minus 2 is going to equal the sum of the angles. Well, this time we know the sum of the angles is 2,160 degrees. Our goal now is to solve for n. Luckily, there's just one variable in the equation, so it's not that bad. One way to do this is first divide each side by 180 degrees. You'll get n minus 2 equals 12. Add 2 to both sides, and would equal 14. So in other words, you would have 14 sides. It says classify by the number of sides, so don't just say 14 side, say what kind of shape it is. In this case, it would be a 14gon. Okay, again, using that formula. Heading on to example 3. Find the measure of angle S and angle T in the figure below. Well, let's start off with what kind of shape is it? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So it's a pentagon. With it being a pentagon, I know that the interior angle should sum to 180 n minus 2, which means it's 180 times 3, which is a total of 540 degrees. We actually knew that from above as well. So that's going to be the sum of the interior angles. Notice that angle T and angle S are congruent by the markings, so I'm just going to label them both X. All of these angles, P, Q, R, S, T, are going to equal 540 degrees. So if I set up an equation with 93 plus 156 plus 85 plus, is it okay if I write 2x? That makes sense to everyone? Angle S and angle T together is 2x. Now I can solve for the 2x. So 540 is going to equal 334 degrees plus 2x. Subtract over the 334, should get 206 equals 2x. divide by 2, divide by 2. X then should equal 103 degrees, which means angle S equals 103 degrees and angle T equals 103 degrees. Again, super important using that formula that we have, the fact that 100 and minus 2 is the interior angles. Okay, pause the video for a moment. Try example 4, where you calculate the measure of an interior angle of a regular nonagon. Looking at this, if you did not read the question fully, you probably got that the sum of the interior angles is 1,260. That is correct, but I am looking for one interior angle. Just one angle. I actually write it the other way. Not angle 1, but one angle. Okay, so if you got 1,260, you're on the right track. If not, let's see what you did. So it is a regular nonagon. Nonagon means n would be 9 sides. First thing, plug into my formula, 180, n minus 2, in this case 9 minus 2. Look at 180 times 7, so 1,260. This measure is the sum of all interior angles. However, I want one angle. If everything together is 1,260, if I divide by how many angles I have, I'll be able to get the one single angle. Well, if I have 9 sides, that means I have 9 angles. So this is where I got the 9. Because there's 9 angles. So overall, each angle will be 140 degrees. So please watch out for that vocab when it asks for an interior angle. It's just one. Don't give me the sum. Find each individual. Okay, let's move on to the next page. This part talks about exterior angles. This is missed a lot because people are just being silly. If you are ever given an exterior angle, if you're trying to find it, no matter what shape you have, no matter how many sides, the sum of the measure of the exterior angles of a convex polygon will always be 360 degrees. I'm going to write it big. Always. Don't worry about plugging into the formula. No matter what, it's going to be 360 degrees. So, example 5 shows that example. What is the value of x in the diagram shown? Well, all of these are exterior angles because they're on the outside. Outside, 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 and outside. So the exterior angles from my theorem will always add to 360 degrees. Well, just add them all together then. We have 2x plus 89 plus 67 plus x going to equal 360 because they're all the exterior angles. Combine some like terms, you get 3x plus 156 equals 360. Subtract over, you'll get 3x equals 204. Keep solving. X would equal 68 degrees. So that would be B. Okay, that's a really nice theorem, regardless, that equal to 360. Let's do another example here. This one you might want to star. This one is missed a lot. Again, you just have to think about it. The measure of an interior angle of a regular convex polygon is 140 degrees. Find the number of sides of this polygon. Now, there's 2 ways to think about it. One way you could solve it is by using the interior angle formula. So the interior angle, how you find that, you should know, is 180 and minus 2. That could be one way I use to solve it. Or I could use the exterior angle theorem, which you know is always 360 degrees. Easiest one I hope you see is the exterior angle. So how about we use that to help us? What do we know? We know an interior angle is 140 degrees. So I'm going to write here, interior angle equals 140 degrees. That means its exterior angle is going to equal some amount. Well, if we need to go back up to the top even and look at it, every interior angle, let's look at this green dot right here. If you keep going on this line, do you see how this green angle and angle X sum to 180 degrees? Well, that's a fact we're going to want to use. In order to find this exterior angle, take 180 degrees minus the interior angle, and you'll get out the exterior angle, which in this case would be 40 degrees. Because of that green line, interior angles and exterior angles are supplementary. You should know that word. Okay, using that, how will that help us? Well, if one exterior angle is 40 degrees, the sum of the interior is 360. So I'm going to write it like this. Sum of the angles of exterior is 360. If I know I have 40 degrees on each angle, we'll divide by 40. That will give you n sides. So 360 divided by 40 in this case is 9 sides. So find the number of sides, 9. Okay, this one is complicated, so please start. We can go over it in class again. This is the easiest way. Take your interior angle, subtract it from 180 to get your exterior, and then use the fact that the sum of the exterior is 360. Divide by that angle measure, and you'll get your 9 sides. Okay. Last thing, did we accomplish the objective? One exterior angle of a regular polygon is 45 degrees. Calculate the number of sides. Okay, well, it's talking about exterior. So right away in my noggin, I'm thinking of 360 degrees because the sum of the exterior is 360. It says one angle is 45 degrees. Calculate the number of sides. Well, this kind of looks like this portion right here of the problem. Don't worry about the beginning. This is now the end part. If I have 360 degrees, each angle is 45 degrees, well, that just means I have 8 sides. It's nothing more than that. Just be aware of what you're given. And all of this is true, I wanted to mention, because they're regular. Regular then means each side is congruent in each angle, equilateral, equiangular. So know that throughout the entire video. Okay, almost done. You have one more page here, a few more examples. The sum of the interior angles is 7,200, classified by the number of sides. I'll get it set up for you. You're going to use your formula of 180 and minus 2 equals 7,200 degrees. Use that to solve backwards, and then you'll find the number of sides. This next example, number 8, you're going to want to look back at your notes. Give this one a shot. We want to see what you can do. And the last one, calculate the value of x. Again, look at your notes and have these done. We will check these both at the beginning of class, and you can come with any questions you have. Thank you so much. Have a great day.